Hello students, today we are going to talk about our next topic, that is flotation, or we are going to talk about principle of flotation. We have already seen that the body is having densities less than that of the liquid, then the bodies will float. And if the solid body is having the density more than that of the liquid in which the body is going to be merged, then the body will sink. Similarly, now we are going to talk about one more principle that will be based upon the weight and the upthrust. Let us say that this is a container that is filled up to this point with some liquid, and if we place a solid body like this into this liquid, then what we observe is this body, on this body two forces are acting. The first force that is acting downwards through its center of gravity, and why I am drawing these diagonals is for a rectangular body, the center of gravity lies at the intersection of the diagonals of the two diagonals, means the whole weight of this body will be acting at this point, and weight always acts in the downward direction. So let us say that the weight that is acting downwards is W. And when this body is placed into this liquid, then upthrust is acting on this body. Then the upthrust is acting on this body, and that upthrust will act through the center of this body that is immersed into the liquid. And to draw the center of this, I am drawing these diagonals through the center, through the lines that is only immersed into the liquid. So I am drawing diagonals from these 2 points. Then the upthrust will act at this point, and upthrust always acts in upward direction. Upthrust acts in the upward direction. Let us say that this force is represented by buoyancy or force of buoyancy, that is Fb. And please remember, this force will be maximum, means buoyancy force or upthrust will be maximum when this body is fully immersed, into the liquid. So the weight acting through this point and the upthrust acts at through this point in the upward direction. Now, according to the principle of flotation, now I will talk about 3 points. So let us now talk about the maximum upthrust, and I am representing the maximum upthrust as FB dash. So when weight of the body is greater than the maximum upthrust force, FB dash, when the weight of the body is greater than the maximum upthrust force, then the body will sink. Into the liquid. Or we can say that the apparent weight, means W minus FB dash will act in the downward direction. So body will sink in this case. In the second case, when we will say that the weight is equal to the maximum upthrust force, when the weight is equal to the maximum upthrust force, at that time this apparent weight W minus FB dash, this will be equal to 0. Means the body will float, but it will be completely submerged. Into the liquid. So So means it will float like this. Let us say that this is a container and the liquid is filled up to this point. Then the body will float like this at this point. So it will be completely submerged. And in the third case, if weight is less than the maximum upthrust force, if the weight is less than the maximum upthrust force, then also the body will float. Then also the body will float, but some of the part will be outside. But some of the part will be outside, as I have shown in this diagram. So here we can say that in this case the center of gravity I am representing this by G, and center of buoyancy I am representing by it by B. So this is G point and this is B point. So now in this case G will be above B. G will be above B in this case. So the net force will act in the upward direction. So W minus FB dash acts in the upward direction. And when the apparent weight of the body is zero, then also we will say that the body will float, and when apparent weight acts in the upward direction, then also we will say that the body will float. So from all these things, or we can also relate all these things with the density. We have already seen that the amount of what is upthrust. So upthrust is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the body submerged into the liquid. So based upon all these things, we will say that the weight of the floating body will be equal to the weight of liquid displaced, by its submerged part. Or we can also discuss about this relationship with the densities. So let us say that for floating body the weight is equal to the buoyant force weight. So weight of the body, I am representing this into terms of mg, or mass is volume multiply the density. So let us say that the weight of the body is equal to volume of body multiply density of body multiply g, and this upthrust force is equal to, let us say that the volume that is displaced by the body submerged, let us say that volume is V, and then the density of the liquid that is displaced by this body, density of this material. So let us say that density is rho of liquid and multiply G. So now these two will get cancelled. From here what we get is V over V is equal to rho S over rho L. Means we will say that the volume of immersed part of body over total volume of body, and that will be equal to density of body divided by the density of liquid. So this is what we get a relationship between the volume of submerged part of floating body and densities of the liquid and the body. So means this is if I am talking about this diagram, then I will say that, let us say that the volume of this part, that is equal to capital V. This total volume of the body is capital V, and the volume of this part that is only immersed into this. So let us say that is V dash or V small v. So that's why we have written it as small v. So this relation we should remember. So rho S over rho L equal to V over total volume, small v over total volume. This is what we should remember. Now, from all these discussion, what we get is, let us now talk about these points from the book now. So, from here, a floating body of higher density has its more volume submerged inside the liquid and hence experiences higher upthrust than the body of low density. So, the body that is having more density will experience more upthrust. A body floats in liquids of different densities only and only when the density of the body is less than or the equal to the volume or equal to the density of the liquid. This is what we have already discussed. And based upon all these discussions, what we have is we have to talk about some of the applications of principle of flotation. So flotation of iron ship. So why iron ship floats? So because it have its density, because some maximum of the space in this ship is filled with air, so the density of the ship is less than that of the iron. So first line here written is, an iron nail sinks in water while a ship floats because of density, because of the density. So iron nail has more density than that of water, whereas the ship that is maximum space is filled with air, so that will be having average less density than that of the water. Similarly, next example is, a loaded ship is submerged more while an unloaded ship is less submerged, because the loaded ship will have more density than the unloaded. So more density means it will submerge, its more part will get submerged. Or we can say that its weight increases. So if its weight increases, it will displace more liquid, more amount of liquid will be required to balance that. So we will say that more it will be submerged if it is loaded. Similarly, next is, a ship begins to submerge more as it sails from seawater to river water. The reason is once again the same. As the ship sails from seawater to river water, the density of seawater is more than that of the density of a river water, because in this seawater more salts are dissolved and its density increases. Whereas river water is having less density than that of the seawater. So as the ship moves from seawater to river water, it will get more submerged. One plimsoll line is there on the ship, so because that white line indicates that the safe limit for loading the ship. So the ships must not be loaded more than that, so that gives us the safe line. Similarly, based upon all these things, you can simply read some of the examples from your book, and with this we complete this chapter. Thank you.